next guest is one of the 3 women under 30 who have been recognized as one of the most active people in championing change in Ghana. She actually was teaching ICT in rural Ghana, and she got inspired to begin this project that she's going to be talking about, Young at Hearts. In the meantime, put your hands together, show some love, and welcome Josephine Mary Godwyll. There we go, there we go, there we go. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to kick it.
Sure.
Stick around, folks. We will be right back.
We're just getting started. The KSM show will be right back.
The KSM show.
Listen, welcome again.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Glad to be here as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. Glitz named you as one of the 3 women under 30 that have vim for creating change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a wonderful recognition. I always say you don't get enough from what you do, especially when it comes to working in rural communities. They are mostly some of the most underserved and marginalized people we have in our country. And so when you're recognized in this fashion, in this manner, it's really fulfilling, and you feel like you're representing a huge number of people who ordinarily are not so much thought about on the daily. Yeah.
So how was the experience teaching ICT in rural Ghana?
Yeah, so the experience is it's interesting. So I'm an engineer. I am a geomatic engineer, and in the course of my studies in KNUST, I specialize in developing geographical information systems. So systems that allow developmental agencies to create projects for rural communities and communities at large. And there was a point in time when I really needed information for a community I was working in, that's at Tremamponwa in the Ashanti region. And so I thought, well, wouldn't it have been possible to just send a text message or an email so they could send me the data I needed? And then it hit me that nobody in the community I was working in could even recognize a computer or could reach out to their phones and text. And so I realized that my ability to use modern day technology is limited by the next person's ability to utilize it. And so I was as limited as they were. And so I had the opportunity to volunteer with RUDEP, that's with the Catholic Students Association. And we went to the village, and we were asked to teach there for 2 weeks. And so I thought it's very important that I take ICT classes. And you should have seen the children light up when they could actually use a computer and not just relate to a drawing on a blackboard, when they could put on the computer. So
for most of them, it was their first time
for most of them,
actually
it was the first
encountering
time.
A computer.
Yeah. And it was an amazing experience. When I used the digital tools to teach subjects like math and English, they were more excited. And the problem with rural communities sometimes is there is very little motivation to come to school. It's not that they don't cherish the opportunity. It's just that it's boring. It looks like a bother. Now, if education is exciting for them through digital technology, everybody gets on board. Everybody wants to do something in the classroom. And I thought, yeah, that's the missing link. We could use digital technology
to excite them about education.
Precisely, to transform their mindsets about education. And it's worked so far. 3 years and 3,000 children.
Wow, wow. And 3,000. Yeah. Wow. What's their fascination with? Is it that it's a new thing for them, or that they can use it to do things that they normally wouldn't have been able to?
So it's basically interactive learning, the interactive learning experience. So for example, we have virtual reality glasses that we take out there, and we allow the kids to have virtual tours. Now, for example, the child has heard about America and, has heard ancient ancient Rome. Now, if the child can actually take a virtual tour to ancient Rome, or take a history tour back to the days in history in Ghana. It becomes interactive, it becomes exciting for that child. So learning is not a bother anymore. It's exciting.
It's an adventure.
Exactly. And it's the same with using computers for arts. They use Microsoft Paint to create arts, logos for their companies. And the models we use is such that we don't just want them to know how to use computers, but to know how to solve problems with computers. And so we have a model called the Business Incubator. Look around your community, look at problems in your community, form a team, and then create a solution to that problem. They create a logo using Microsoft Paint. They create a PowerPoint presentation. And ordinarily, these are things that probably children in urban communities may be exposed to, but not in the rural communities. It's important that we bridge that gap if we are to move Ghana forward. And the surprising thing is they make the majority in Ghana.
Yeah. So, yeah, give it up. So in your experience, what are some of the problems, for example, you give them to use ICT to solve that they're doing?
We had the media campaign for a village called Abuja. And we wanted to change the narrative. Now, when we speak about rural communities, most of the time we concentrate so much on the negatives that we forget that there may be some positives. So there's a child called Oforiwa who actually created a campaign that highlighted cocoa in her community. And so we taught her how to use a phone to create a video. We taught her how to access the internet. We taught her how to use Microsoft Word to type out what the problem was. And that, in a way, is giving her a voice to tell the world that my community grows cocoa. I think that if we had a cocoa processing company in my community, the community would develop, the community would grow. So then there's that, taking away that gap of information. So the child in rural Ghana can tell the world about cocoa and the problems they are facing in their community when it comes to cocoa, and that is giving them a voice and using digital technology.
And this is in Abuja?
Yes, this is Abuja, Atrimamponwa district.
Wow, wow. So what inspired this decision to come up?
I think that no child should miss out on opportunities in life because of where they are born. I don't think your geographical location should be enough to determine what you do in life or whether you make it or not. I remember growing up and, you know, sitting in mommy's car, driving from Koforidua to Accra and seeing children by the roadside just in panties or, you know, working on some farm or whatever. And I always felt really bad. I thought I was doing something wrong. How come I have opportunities and they don't? So I've always been really passionate about children that live in rural communities. I think I could have, nobody chooses where they are born. And so I could have been born in such a circumstance, and I would have loved for someone to extend a helping hand. So that's what I'm doing.
So Young at Hearts is the foundation? Yes,
it's a digital literacy organization. We are championing the use of digital tools to improve the learning experiences of children. And the latest thing we are working on is Anansi the Teacher. And I'm so excited about this because I think that, like I said, when we talk about rural communities, we forget about the positives. One positive about rural communities are the stories they tell. And it's amazing. When we go for outreaches, they gather around by the fireside, they teach their children through stories, and it's an exciting experience. What we've done is that we've compiled stories that I was told when I was growing up of Anansi the Teacher. Now, Anansi comes back, returns as a teacher in the app, and teaches children using his stories to explore science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And that is where we are going. Once you use stories that children are easily drawn to, it gets them excited, and the pedagogy works because they can relate to the subjects of science and technology.
So what is this app like? It's something anyone can download?
Yes, so it works on Android phones now. It will be on Play Store by the 16th of June. That's the day for the African child. And basically you download it and it's very easy to navigate.
It's called Anansi the Teacher. What's the name of the app?
Anansi the Teacher.
Anansi the Teacher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you download it and what, it takes you stories or it takes you through stories?
Yeah.
Or
So typically you have a story, and in that story is infused a science, technology, engineering, or arts or math activity. So for example, if Tortoise wanted to go to where the birds were because he didn't have food, and so he was boiling water. Now there you can have a science lesson because you can talk about the 3 states of water. Water, which is liquid, being boiled, turning into vapor, and if you had a fridge, you would probably put it inside and it will turn into ice. So that is infused, and then the child can get the opportunity to at least see science with everyday things. So that science is not just something he's taught in class, but then when he comes home and sees water, he knows that, hey, 3 states of matter. It helps them to connect to the things they are taught every day. And this can be used by rural and then urban children too. So then again, we talk about the gap, bridging that gap. Yeah.
Show some love, man. This is fantastic. and a bit more about your background. You went to Tech.
Yes, I did. But I have to start from Wesley Girls High School.
What was
They won't forgive me.
Hey, Gehe.
Yeah.
Gehe, you have to.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so you were a Gehe girl.
Yeah.
And before Gehe?
I was in Madonna,
okay.
yeah, in Koforidua.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a Koforidua flower.
Okay. And then from Wesley Girls to Tech?
To Tech, studied geomatic engineering, went back to Tech. I was a TA, then went back for my master's in geomatic engineering. So now I run consultancies. That's my galamsey, you know. Galamsey is becoming
Oh, no, you know.
Yeah, so I run consultancies. I specialize in geographical information systems, like I mentioned. Yeah.
I have to say this at the risk of angering Legon students, you know, but most of the guests I've had who have come from Tech are very, very innovative, and I'm sorry, but that's just on my statistics, you know.
I don't want to be a part of this matter.
You know, so you know, I get the Legon students, you know, but when I'm talking about this element of so much diversity, creativity, most of you have come from Tech, man.
That's amazing. I think we are all making our alma mater very proud. But then they would say they are churning out the politicians. And
the politicians and the.
But we'll work behind the scenes and make sure Ghana works.
Great.
Yeah.
And personally, you're married. Kids,
no, I'm not.
You're not? That's why I asked that, you know. My crew is always looking for single people, you know. Why, I don't know.
Yes, I'm not married yet. I don't have kids yet, but I think I have a lot of kids. I have 3,000 plus kids.
Yeah.
But yet to have kids of my own. But there's somebody in the picture.
Oh, there's somebody in the picture. Okay. So guys, hey, you know. And how big is your profile in the picture on the screen? Is it like really?
Yeah, it's quite prominent.
Yeah.
I'm sure my mom is really watching this and wanted to have tips. But mom, you hear from him soon. Don't worry.
Okay. So
everything is fine. You know, so you get to a stage where you know, constantly, you know, you meet family members, and that's the number one topic.
Yep.
You know, when are you settling down?
Yeah.
You know, it's coming. It's coming.
And your parents?
Yeah, so my mom is a caterer. I draw a lot of inspiration from her. She's one of the people that started restaurants in Koforidua.
Oh, fantastic. And the name is?
Sophisticated restaurant. Her name is Godwyll.
Okay.
And I remember when she started, you know, everybody thought she should go into the typical fufu and akanti and kwai, you know, that kind of line, because Koforidua people like their fufu.
They want their local stuff.
Yeah, but she I think she's a trailblazer. She did so amazingly. My dad is a retired economist. He's an economic planning officer. So he does a lot of the staying at home now and asking a lot of questions. And I have to teach him ICT over and over again. And we always go back to lesson 1. But I know. I mean, it's all worth it. It's all good. Yeah, and I'm an only child.
So. I see. Yeah. Are you spoiled?
No. I think my dad did a lot of the pampering, and my mom did a lot of the hush-hushing. So it's a fair balance.
It's a fair balance.
I'm not spoiled at all.
Just a lot one more time. Well, it's really great what you're doing. Is there like a number people can call if they want to join, or any information that you want to put out there?
Sure. So, yeah, so if you want to join the Young at Heart team, we are taking volunteers from all over Ghana, especially from tertiary institutions. You can call 054-155-6539, or you can call 057-332-3132. Join us.
Okay, folks, the number is on your screen, and that's the number to join Young at Heart and help out as you'll be doing. Fantastic, man. I'm so glad you had the chance to shoot the breeze and keep it up, man. Great work. Okay, folks, stick around. We'll be right back.
Don't move, don't blink, don't breathe. The KSM show will be right back.